putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
They are saying only 1% of the people care about the Russia story. Whoa! Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. That's what Tucker Carlson said. They did a study. I don't know who did the survey or whatever. 1%. That's not good news for us. I know that's what people want to believe is that, it's disinterest. Russia goes back to the Democrats. Don't feel good about that. We need to keep this story alive. We need to get this next special counsel that will start looking into this, and we need to revive what's going on here. Glad you guys are listening. KJRadio.com, 844-551-8255. And what's interesting is that as you look at this thing shake out, and I'm watching it closely, I'm looking at the people involved across the board and what's, like the FISA courts and things like this. And I'm watching the media. There's all the stuff they want us to see, and then there are the things that you have to glean from it all. And here's what The View, they had Adam Schiff on. And Meghan McCain presses Adam Schiff on, what is coming of all of this? You've done nothing here. I mean, you've had a long time to look at this and nothing's occurred. And I want you to hear what Adam Schiff has to say. It's the same thing he's been saying now for months. And you make a determination of where you think this is going.
And many Americans to differentiate between what is overhype and what isn't. You've said on more than one occasion that you've seen ample evidence of the Trump campaign's Russia collusion. Last March, you said you had more than circumstantial evidence of treasonous collusion with Russia. What specifically were you referring to? And please be specific, because if it's true, I do believe Americans have the right to know a year later what that is.
Well, I've certainly said that there's ample evidence of collusion. I've never used the word treason. Only Steve Bannon has used that word. But if you look at the facts that are already in the public domain, they're pretty damning. Starting with what we know about George Papadopoulos, one of the few foreign policy advisors to the campaign. We now know that Papadopoulos was approached by the Russians and told back in April of the election year, even before the Clinton campaign knew, that the Russians had stolen Clinton and DNC emails. And we also know that they previewed their dissemination, the anonymous dissemination of those emails with Papadopoulos back in April. Now, it was only weeks later that the Russians made a second approach to the Trump campaign, this time at the highest levels at Trump Tower, in a meeting that they previewed by saying that they wanted to offer incriminating information about Hillary.
Is it enough for Mueller to bring charges? Because if it isn't enough for Mueller to bring charges, what does that mean?
Well, what it means,
charges of collusion.
This is a very important question, and that is, what's Mueller's job and what's our job? Mm-hmm. Bob Mueller will make the decision whether there is proof beyond a reasonable doubt to indict and convict people. It is not his responsibility to tell the country what happened. And indeed, there's no guarantee that the country will ever learn what Bob Mueller finds apart from an indictment. It's the job of the Congress to tell the American people what happened. Whether it reaches the standard beyond reasonable doubt or we merely find clear and convincing evidence of collusion. So it's important, I think, that we set out the facts for the public, set out the facts about what the Russians told Papadopoulos, about what the Russians did in setting up that meeting in Trump Tower. Now, bear in mind that meeting in Trump Tower, which takes place after the campaign is alerted that the Russians have these emails. Don Jr. is told, hey, at the highest levels, ultra-sensitive, we have information incriminated about Hillary Clinton as part of the Russian government effort to help Donald Trump. That looks a lot like collusion to me.
And you're a former federal prosecutor.
Yes.
I just think if Mueller doesn't end up charging him, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors.
Yes, rough. We don't know.
Well,
we won't know. We don't know. Until Congress, you know what I'm doing. I'm rapping you, and I'm so sorry because you should have been here the whole hour.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. But
so essentially, what Schiff is saying, and by the way, Whoopi Goldberg had to bail him out of this because he said nothing new, and McCain was drilling down. I mean, I'm not a fan of Meghan's in the sense of her political astuteness, but she was drilling down on, like, you've got nothing here. And trust me when I tell you, she's no conservative. And she's going, look, this needs to be done. But I want to play another clip from Tucker where he's got a Democrat on the show, and he's saying, tell me where this is going with you've got no interest in Russia. What should your party be doing? And it's interesting what this guy came back with.
And so it's really Democrats who've been driving this, and we've had a bunch of them on this show, nice people.
Yes.
But if they don't know anything, why are they so obsessed? And why aren't they talking about things that Americans actually care about?
I wish I knew. I take a lot of issue with my own party. There's a lot that we can improve on. We need a coherent message to deliver to Americans other than just resist. We need to be giving them ideas where we can maybe improve their lives, other than just giving them, promises of resist.
Wait.
I don't even know what we're resisting.
The lives of illegal aliens here and giving them citizenship and voting rights. I thought that they shut down the government over that. Remember that? That was the top priority of the Democratic Party.
We've got to do more than resist. Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. He's right. They've got to do more than resist. But as I said earlier, I've really looked at this from a strategic point of view and asked myself, why are they continuing to cover a story that they know points back to the Democrats? And that's prototypical leftism. They have to continue the ruse of looking into the story as it pertains to Donald Trump in order to keep you from looking at it from what it really is involving, which, of course, is all the crookedness of the Obama administration and Hillary Clinton. And when they do that, it slowly drags out. I thought the drip was good for Republicans, and to some degree it is. It'll be good for them going into the 2018 election cycle. But what it's really meant to do is to keep the Democrat Party from imploding. So it's either we take a little bit of a hit during the 2018 elections, or it's devastation. The true Armageddon that's brewing out there has to do with the Democrats. That's a fact. Now, I want to also play another clip. It's Representative Matt Gaetz on the FISA court. And this is a court that's been stacked with Obama judges. And what's interesting about that, and it's not many people discuss this, Justice Roberts is the one who has to approve them, who says, yeah, these are the people that can go on it. He's the one who let Obama stack the FISA courts. But anyway, here's Matt Gaetz talking about it.
To revise the process so that what happened to President Trump never happens to a future American president. So I went looking for solutions, and I found that in 2013, the gentleman from California, the ranking member of the Intelligence Committee, wanted to give the President of the United States the power to appoint FISA judges. He argued that then judges would be more ideologically diverse. They'd come from different areas in the United States, and they would be subject to Senate confirmation. Today, I filed that legislation, and I would encourage the gentleman from California to join me as a co-sponsor so that we could advance bipartisan legislation to approve the FISA process, because, Mr. Speaker, if it was good enough to give President Obama these powers, it's good enough to give President Trump these powers.
Welcome back, everybody. So that was Matt Gaetz. What he was saying there, and I'm sure you guys are aware of this, but so Adam Schiff, who's been the biggest guy to want to get Trump on Russia and essentially promoting a lie. He should be impeached. He should be recalled as a congressman for what he's done. And I've said to many people, if you didn't like Pelosi, or if you don't like her, if you didn't like Harry Reid or Chuck Schumer, what you're seeing with Schiff is he's worse than all three combined. That's what you have that's worse. He's worse. And so Gaetz is saying you wanted the FISA court judges to be appointed by the president, because I think that kind of goes back to what I said earlier, which is he only recommends them, but it's Roberts. And I'm going to do more digging into this, because I'm really concerned about Justice Roberts having allowed, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know it's stacked with Obama judges. And you have to ask yourself, how does this happen? How do we have supposedly, I remember when Roberts was appointed as a Supreme Court judge by Bush, I was ecstatic. I think most of us were like, wow, he's a staunch conservative. And then, of course, we got Obamacare. And I was going, what did this guy just do? We were 4-4. His vote would have done it. And so then it made me wonder, what do they have on this guy? And then you start to, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist here, but as you start unraveling everything that's happened with NSA and people talking about Barack Obama's big database that he keeps on people, And you certainly understand how D.C. works, where they get a little dirt on you and then they make you do things that you never thought you'd do. And I'm going, what's up with Roberts? There's something there. And I'm vetting it out here. I'm kind of putting you inside my head because I don't know. But I don't know how you could possibly have stacked that court with those judges when supposedly the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice is the one who puts them on there. I don't know how we got here.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.